Welcome to Quantum Only, the run where I only use quantum characters. This was not at all because I wanted an excuse to main Castress on a different account. No. How? I wanted to showcase our short queens and be equal opportunity after all. Anyway, the professor will not be joining me in this commentary. He said something about the Monday Night Assembly? Huh. Anyway, we made it to the underground then, to wake up in Natasha's clinic, before we walk outside to laugh at March being bullied, before all the kids then drag us in to play hide and seek. Which, by the way, it's no wonder they've never lost a single game. I mean, look at this. Look at this. They have the master of disguise in their ranks. Like, how is that fair? Man, imagine he was playable though. That'd be kind of cool. Then Hooks takes us to the club you're not supposed to talk about, to then see Dan fighting robots. Of course, asking him where his partner in Wind Only went prompts him to point out Sampo sneaking away. Before we chase after Mr. Cold Feet, though, we decided to check out the shield shop for trade materials. We may need them later after all, so it's good to grab them now. So then we gather more chests for Jades before buying out all the food. We'll need it later, you'll see, as it's actually more difficult than you'd think to fight bosses with only 2 characters and no sustains. We don't have access to the prayer machine, so no need to bring that up here. Trust me on this, I would be using it if I had it. Anyway, catching up with Sampo leads him to begging for forgiveness in the best way that he knows how. By offering up a winning lotto ticket worth $10. Nice try, Sampo. I know it's been used already. Bronya then almost gets shot before our very first quantum and limited DPS in Star Rail's history saves her, forever leaving a bad taste in most people's mouths to this day that she is not a standard character, when even back then, she really should have been. Oh well. Maybe we'll get a 5-star quantum standard down the road so that I can eventually spend my 300 rolls on. Afterwards, we're introduced to dailies, as well as assignments, crafting, the battle pass, simulated universe, and yes, we're then also called back by Herta to run the simulated universe again. This time with our own team. You can imagine running the simulated universe with only 2 characters is every bit as painful as you'd imagine. But luckily, we can bypass some of the pain with Remembrance as a path. Path, by the way, not the playable path running in 3.0. Not yet, anyway. And freezing stunning bosses in order to keep ourselves alive. After that run, we get our dailies done. The mission's done for the tutorial, to which we promptly throw Foresight out the window and start trying to get the Jing Yuan light cone. Unaware of the hell that I would endure in the next few patches. Back-to-back quantum characters. Aren't I lucky? Anyway, we go and console Pom Pom, who's currently having a mental breakdown. I can relate, buddy. It is okay. We then shoo the ghosts away before we get our well-earned Trailblaze levels. Afterwards, we meet back up with Sele, who compliments on our promptness. We don't need to tell her this took a week. We really don't. Let's just take the compliment. Natasha then tells us to meet back with Oleg, to then lead us to finally unlocking relics. This will be very important. We will need them for the upcoming fights. We then encounter a guy sleeping in the road and ask ChatGPT to tell us where our keys went, while we look for more chests for tasty jades. Getting in the middle of the civil dispute because Bronya can't stand it until we catch her eye for a moment on... What is this? Is this always like this? Is my computer dying? I don't remember this rock being like this at all. What is going on with this? I continue running around making sure nothing else is going wrong because I swear this is going to drive me nuts for a good while. What is going on here? Anyway, we cut over to ChatGPT again after Professor Ratio caught me spending the next half hour investigating the strange rock, and he promptly chewed me out to stop getting so distracted. Which he's right after all. I would be here all day if I didn't. We gather the pins to fix the minecart and push it around to... Oh no. Oh, this texture's bugging out then. What a weird bug. It's a picture of Rivettown, just distorted. Anyway, let's stop that. We push the cart further to find more robots and to showcase how hard this is going to get for us. The bleed debuff's really rough, as you can see, and we almost lose this basic fight due to almost bleeding to death from all the edge. Speaking of edges, though, we see Farog under this very, very spiny crystal, with Clara talking about people trying to escape the underground. Before we cut back to the next part of our plan. Trying to convince Clara to let us talk to Farog. After we hit a major milestone in tutorial missions, where we get a relic set for healing. This will be useful if we get links from a gacha. God, I hope we get a link soon. Natasha, of course, pities us and offers her services as a healer, which we promptly throw her in the bin, because she is not Quantum. Maybe she'll be a 5-star Quantum Abundance in the future, eh? Probably not. We cut back to showing up at Farog's gate before realizing that we need to talk to some other robots and get the key from them. So, here we are again, cutting over. Right at the edge of the hardest fight for us and our major roadblock. In worry of how hard this fight can get, we eat food before approaching. Sparro is a struggle, as not only can he summon help, he can also capture a party member, delay our turns, give himself extra turns, and cause dots to whittle our life down. Halfway through all that, though, Natasha intervenes and heals us up, which is both convenient and inconvenient at the same time. Because the second phase of this, even with the heal, as you can see, this goes poorly. But that's fine. I have a few tricks up my sleeve. After we acknowledge our newfound popularity to make us feel better, about losing against Farog anyway, we then head back to Herta's space station to gather some Hertarium and buy some relics. That's right, we're going pay to win, baby! We're going to bulldoze over Farog by buying all the purple relics and outfitting ourselves in gear to power level over him. So, after that, we're locked and loaded, we level what we can and head back to this Farog fight and, how did we get up here again? How did we... Oh my goodness. Okay, well... I didn't want to do this. That's painful. But it's for content. Just remember, content. Yeah. So, after everything is leveled, I then realized one other crucial thing that I was missing. Auto use wasn't on. Anyway, so for a third time, let's go! First half is very painless, but of course we have to kill him. So this doesn't really mean anything. Not like getting to like 30% or something and have the fight be called off. No, we have to win this second phase. Which we barely do, because again, Farog is such a cheap ass. We cut back to now being able to ascend our world level. Which is great, because the two bosses for such a trial are nothing in comparison to Farog for us. For instance, one is Quantum Weak right from the get-go, and the other is just standard resistance. So after we ascend, we cut back to the train to find Pom Pom tweaking out again about more ghosts. Which this time we then told the ghost to chill out, before we go back to comforting that silly rabbit, to realize the next part of the puzzle. Well, you know how I said we had to hope and pray for links from the gacha? Well, I lied. Well, okay. Lying implies that I thought about it. I actually just forgot. Either way, we absolutely desperately needed that bundled up little girl and her can of pilchards to heal us, because unless we're getting another Fushuan banner, we don't have any more options. Luckily, this event's very easy, very fast. I've done it before twice. So, we go to sleep, wake up to the display case already being built, and it's as shrimpable as that. Speaking of shrimp, though, welcome aboard, Lynx! Wait, you're telling me there's sardines in here? Anyway, we add her to our party and level her up with comfort, knowing that for now, we have a sustain. Whew. This will be less painful progressing from now on, hopefully. Continuing the story, we talk to Dunn to let us into the reactor before finally having him catch our bluff. Luckily, he's quantum weak, and we have heals, so this was no big deal at all. We then run into Japard, who's trying to stop us again, and come on, man. Just come on. Your little sister is helping us out here. You wouldn't hit your little sister, would you? Wow, no, instead you'll just shoot her in the face instead. Okay, buddy. That's rude. After gambling and betting it all on one big hit, we punish Japard. And then he finally shows us the horde that he has to contend with on a daily basis. To which, after we gathered shades, rolled on standard, and realized off stream that we got a 5-star and hope for a light cone. Only to be met with another lightning-only starter pack. I guess I should have expected that. No 5-star quantum on standard after all. Well, that's it then, for quantum only currently. I plan on going over and scraping away at the Jades for the first and second half of 3.0. Having an episode where I pause the story and try to scramble for Jade seems like a fun idea, and that also seems to be in the spirit of a lot of challenge runs. So, believe me when I say that I'm actually looking forward to that. Either way, like, subscribe, or don't, since I'll have about an entire patch or so of slow time for imaginary only. Expect more quantum. So see ya!